This is 5.2, part 4. We're going to finish question number 3 in this lesson here. So far we've seen the transformations that are either vertical or horizontal translations, meaning you move the parabola x squared up or down or left or right, depending on the vertex form that you see. So if we look at question A over here, we have the vertex form, x minus 2 squared, and then minus 5. This would be our h value over here. So we have our h value of 2, and this would be our k value. Our k value is minus 5. Now typically what we do is there's a certain order where you do transformations. Right now we only have two, the translation that's vertical or horizontal. Many sources will tell you to do the horizontal translation first, it's in brackets, and then proceed to do the vertical one after. It doesn't really matter too much since they're independent of each other. But I'm going to do the horizontal translation in this case first, and then afterwards I'll do the vertical translation if there's any. So I'll show you how to do that on the graph, and then also using the mapping rule we saw in the previous lesson. So for the graph, what I would do is I would choose a different color here. Let's choose red. I've already pre-drawn the y is equal to x squared graph into each grid so that we're comparing those graphs, those relations to the relation over here. So we're going to go take a look at our points. Here I have point 0, 0. And so based on the equation above, my h is 2, so I'm moving to the right 2, so 1, 2. And then I'm moving to the bottom 5. So I didn't really start off drawing this graph properly. What I should do is make a little bit more room so I can actually move 5 down. Let me go do that right now. So notice mistakes happen, and it's okay. So I'll make my graph like this, and then go back and plot my y is equal to x squared there. So at 0 it's 0, at 1 it's 1, or at negative 1 it's 1, at 1 it's 1, at 2 it's 4, and then at 2 it's at negative 2 it's 4 as well. So here's my y is equal to x squared. Let's go back and reattempt that now with all my points drawn in properly. So again, I'm going to do my horizontal movement first. Let's make this make it purple. Horizontal movement, my h is in brackets here. We have negative 2, so my h is positive 2. So we move 2 to the right, so 1, 2 for the 0, 0 point. And then we move 5 down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's that point moved down 5. Let's do another point like that as well. So we'll go with this point here, negative 1, 1. So 2 to the right, 1, 2, and then 5 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And we can do that with another point over here. 2 to the right, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, just like that. And then over here, 2 to the right, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, like that. Same idea here, 2 to the right, and then 4, 5 down, like that. And so here what we've drawn is our relation y is equal to x minus 2 all squared minus 5. So shifted to the right by 2 units for every point, and then shifted down by 5 units for every point as well, due to the k value over here. You could have done your mapping rule. So for example, if the coordinate in the x squared is xy, then the modifications we see here would proceed like this. You would move your x to the right 2, so that means you're adding your x, you're adding 2 to your x. That's from the h over here. And your y would be going down 5, so y minus 5. And that would be your mapping rule. So we'll choose a point. Let's say the point 0, 0 from the parabola y is equal to x squared. And we'll plot it into the mapping rule. So we'd have 0 plus 2, comma, 0 minus 5. And that would give us 2, negative 5 as our new vertex, which is what we have. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can see that that is our new vertex, 2, negative 5. So you could use that mapping rule technique as well by first making a table of values and then applying the modifications to your x and y values and plotting those separately. That can also work. So let's go take a look at this example over here. Let's write down our h values here. Our h value positive in there, so that means our h is negative 3, so we're going to have a horizontal translation to the left by 3 units. And this is our k value. K is positive 1, which means that we're going to go up by 1 unit. So let's go look at our y is equal to x squared and do those transformations. Here we have 0, 0. We're going to go to the left 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. Just like that. Here we have negative 1, 1. So we're going to go to the left 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. Same thing here, left 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. 1, 2, 3, and up 1. And then 1, 2, 3, and up 1. So notice we shifted the parabola to the left and moved it up as well by 1 unit. And then we shifted it to the left by 3 units. Again, you could have used a mapping rule. So if we used our mapping rule here, we'd have x, y for the x squared function, the x squared graph. And the transformation would be x minus 3, because you're moving to the left 3, y plus 1, because you're moving up 1 due to the k. And so if we take a point, let's say the point negative 1, 1, so negative 1, 1. In our new function with the transformations, we would have negative 1 minus 3, comma, 1 plus 1, which would be negative 4, 2. Let's go see if that works. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's negative 4, 1, 2. And there's our point that we would have found. So you could plot your parent grid first and then make the modifications based on the ones that you see here. You can also make the mapping rule to find your different coordinates based on the x squared coordinates alone. So in this video, or in this series of videos for this lesson 5.2, we've seen transformations that involve translations, meaning moving up or down, left or right. If you have an h, you're moving left or right. If you have a k, you're moving up or down, depending on the sign. In the previous lessons, we've seen transformations that involve stretching and compressing. So what we're going to see in the next few lessons is, well, what if you combine all those transformations together? Stretching, compression, translations, vertical and horizontal. How do you approach that? How do you draw it? Using the mapping rule and using the graphing. Please make sure you attempt these graphing problems on your own. You can use Desmos again to practice visualizing the movement of these graphs and practice modifying some equations to see if they would move in the direction that you would predict until you become very comfortable with this vertex format and what all the different numbers and letters mean.